welcome to this week's Scotty Bet TV. Thankfully, the international break is over and there's a big game on Merseyside this weekend, isn't there? Everton versus Liverpool at Anfield in the 228 Merseyside Derby. Huge game for Jurgen Klopp and Ronald Koeman. We'll cover that from a betting perspective, and also we've got the long shot, our usual bits, the ACCA, and also Scotty's set. But without further ado, let's get straight in to the Merseyside Derby. Now, you'd probably guess and think that I was going to go with the yellow cards and red cards count in this one. I think the bookies are well onto this one. Anthony Taylor is in charge. He's averaging 4.5 yellow cards. Cards per game, 4 reds and 97 yellows for him this season in the 23 matches he's taken charge of. Huge amount. In fact, no other referee has dished out more yellow cards than Anthony Taylor. So it's got drama written all over this one. If you fancy a penalty, 9 penalties he's awarded in his 23 games this season. So there's a chance of a penalty as well. But I'm looking at the goals count for me. Obviously, the bookies are well onto the card count, but I'm leaning towards the goals. Now, we all know Liverpool's strength this season, especially at Anfield, score more goals than any other team in the Premier League on home soil. Everton, interestingly, have scored more late goals than any other team in Europe. The last 10 minutes, they've scored more goals than any other team in the Premier League. So that shows where their strengths lie too. But for me, the 3 bets that I'm going to pick out is a goal scored after the 85th minute. I think we've seen last minute goals previously in Merseyside derbies, haven't we? Daniel Sturridge in recent years, Phil Jagielka, and also Sadio Mane in the game at Goodison Park this season. So the 3-1 on a goal scored, that tickles my fancy in that one. I'm also going for both teams to score in the second half. I think there's good value in that. 9-4, both teams to score in the second half. That's another bet I do like. And also over 3 goals in the match at 2-1. So the 3 bets for me that I'm tipping in this Merseyside derby: a goal to be scored after the 85th minute, 3-1. Both teams to score in the second half, 9-4, and over 3 goals in the match at 2-1. They're my bets in the 228 Merseyside derby. Well, I'm going to pick Scotty's set this weekend. There's a bit of previous between these two sides. In fact, there was a sending off and 8 yellow cards in the corresponding fixture this season. I'm going with Stoke City versus Leicester City. Now, that's a red card written all over it for me. You can get as big as 4-1 on a red card in this match. Jamie Vardy was sent off in the first half hour this season, and also 8 yellow cards. There's previous, and I'm sure there's going to be a red card in the Stoke City versus Leicester City match this weekend. Fill your boots at 4-1. This week's long shot, it travels to Old Trafford and it features Manchester United versus West Brom. West Brom put 3 goals past Arsenal 2 weeks ago, and I think they can get results. In fact, I think they'll beat Manchester United, and at 10-1 is extremely good value considering the injuries and suspensions Manchester United have. 11-2 you can get for West Brom to score 2 or more as well. I like the look of that. But 10-1 West Brom to beat Manchester United at Old Trafford. Now, this week's ACCA is a both teams to score effort once more. It pays around 10-1. Here's the teams, get your pens ready. Rochdale versus Northampton, Millwall versus Scunthorpe, Mansfield versus Exeter, and Stevenage versus Barnet. If you missed them, don't worry, I'll jot them on the screen right away. That's it for another week's show. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter or like us on Facebook. You can even subscribe to us on our YouTube channel as well. Whatever you're having a bet on this weekend, the very best of luck. Make sure you give them bookies a good bashing, and I'll see you next week on Scotty Bet TV.